Off the top at 6, we begin with a look at the man behind the terror at a Publix supermarket. Police say this man shot and killed a woman and her young grandson. The grandmother heroically fought back and tried to save the toddler's life before she was shot and killed. And tonight, it appears this was all just a random act of violence.
But the Palm Beach sheriff says this tragedy could have been prevented. Let's get right to local 10's Ian Margot live in Royal Palm Beach with more on this. Ian.
And that sheriff was frustrated today, telling us there were signs. There were signs that people that knew him should have spoken up about to prevent this from happening in the first place.
All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the earthly Mother, sanctifying YAHAWAH, the Holy Son. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, welcome. This is your humble servant, Big Levi, and today is Sunday, June the 13th, 2021. Apology, brothers and sisters. Be at peace. I've been quite busy during the past few days, and a lot of things are happening. The Most High is purifying my home. He's purifying myself. He is purifying my life, and a lot of things are being purified, and I'm getting much more cleaner, and then my life is getting much more cleaner, and the Most High is removing a lot of obstacles that in my life, certain things that are happening. And then like I said, be very careful when you ask the Most High to purify you and purify your family, purify your home, your work. Be very careful, because when you start doing it, don't question him, saying like, hey, why are you doing this, Most High, God, why are you doing this, all this thing, but he's doing it, brothers. That's why I've been very busy, because I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing right now, and it's taking a lot of my time. My apology in advance. Now, give me a second. Somebody is knocking on the door. All right. Family member, brethren, family members, they are getting out. They are going back to Tallahassee, beloved. Great cleansings are going upon the land in our house, and it cannot be stopped. We give the Most High all praises and all credits to everything that's going on. Now, beloved, this is a horrible things that happening to those people right there. Sorry, I'm going up and down, running down the stairs, and you might hear I'm trying to breathe hard. My apology. So, this happened over there in South Florida and Royal Palm Beach, and that's in like not South Florida. Well, it's considering South Florida, but a little bit north of Florida, not kind of north to Orlando and Jacksonville and stuff like. But we say South Florida. Now, brethren, listen to what's happened.
Somebody knew about it, that bad things were going to happen with this guy, and number two is obviously there's some mental unstableness involved in this.
Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw telling us Friday there were major red flags about the gunman who would eventually walk into a Royal Palm Beach Publix and kill an innocent woman and her toddler grandson.
There was a chance this could be stopped. You know why? The reason is he's on Facebook. He has said, I want to kill people and children. He's got friends. Obviously, they saw that. His ex-wife said he's been acting strange. He thinks he's being followed. He's paranoid. You think a damn soul told us about that? No.
That is because, one, you guys wouldn't do anything about it. Two, Facebook, YouTube, any social media, they are too busy monitoring our people. They are too busy taking our video down. They are too busy being on our comment boards. They are too busy trolling our people. They are too busy on the black channels and the Hebrew channels. They are too busy coming with scheme. This guy make it plain. You can't blame this dude right here. You cannot blame that guy. He's a monster. He is a demon. He is a devil. He is a antichrist or antichrist. He made it known. This man wasn't doing anything behind closed door. He came out there in public. He said, listen, I want to do this. I want to do that. And you people did not come upon him. And you people did not do anything to him. You are too busy monitoring our people. being in the background. Look what we are doing. Put our people in Facebook jail. Anytime we say something in our group, you're sending us a little silly messages and email. Oh, you can't talk about this because you do guideline, community guideline. That's what you people are doing. Now the Most High is bringing the hate upon your people. Brethren, look at this dude. I forgive this man. He is a monster. He's supposed to go out there and do what monster does. That's what monster does. You cannot blame this guy. You cannot blame a hungry wolf. That a hungry wolf tell you, I'm a hungry wolf. Please do not put me around sheep because I will eat them. And you put him in the midst of a bunch of sheep. And then this wolf tells you, I'm so hungry, I want to eat some sheep. And then the moment this wolf eat that sheep, you blaming him. This man is a monster. That's why he is. This is in his nature. You give the Most High praises for this man. You say, all praises to the Most High. Thank you for bringing this out to our attention. To me, this man is an innocent man. He said on Facebook, brethren, sister, I want to do stuff to people and children, to women and children. Yet he woke up in the Publix. He doesn't even know the woman, brethren. He doesn't even know the kid. They don't live together. There's no connection. He grabbed a bag of popcorn. He popped the kid first. Then he popped the woman. And he popped himself. And people are freaking out like, oh, this man is like, he's all horrible, man. And oh, this man is this man is that and stuff. And no, this is a monster. He does what monster does. Let us move in.
Apparently, the gunman, 55-year-old Timothy J. Wall, walked into the Publix about 20 minutes after his victims, a 69-year-old woman and her nearly 2-year-old grandson.
Takes out his gun and he fires one round, killing the child. The grandma instinctively jumps in and is trying to stop him. She struggles with him. His gun jams. He was able to overpower her, push her down to the ground, and he shoots her down while she's on the ground.
Then they say Wall turned the gun on himself. But why this happened is still unclear. In fact, the sheriff says there appears to be no real connection between Wall and the victims.
You really never know anyone, really. So sometimes people just snap.
Brian Heinrich lives next door to Wall's ex-wife, only minutes away from that Publix. He says Wall hasn't lived there in a few years, but that he would have never expected this.
It's very crazy and appalling, especially out here. Usually that kind of stuff doesn't happen. So it's very surprising to hear that actually happened.
Very surprising indeed. Very surprising. Beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, is that thing even recording? Yes, it is. You are going to witness, you are going to see. Now the people, they are getting very uncomfortable because the sword, which is plague number 9 and number 5, okay, that was plague number 9, execution by the sword, and also number 5, because there are some destruction going in the midst of their soul. All the people were there, they got destroyed. And you have people, brethren, that said, I never thought this would have happened in my neighborhood. I never thought this would have happened in front of me. I never thought I would have been a witness in this type of things. But it happened. Beloved brothers, Jews and Gentiles alike, the Most High made a promise to us. He covering us. A lot of us are finding black feathers, black plume. A lot of us are seeing birds, where we are seeing notification and confirmation from the Most High. Fear not. You watch the video, when I was at that McDonald's place, you saw how when the Most High come and then he bind the spirits of the 2/3 of the demons, they can do nothing to you. Beloved brothers and sisters, Genesis 15, verse 13, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 100 years. We fulfilled this prophecy. In Genesis 15, verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. The Heavenly Father is judging this nation with the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. Understand this, brothers. Psalm 78, verse 5, I believe. Oops, 75. Psalm 75, 8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out, and drink them. Father, the heavenly Father, have a cup in his hand. This cup was in our hand. We were the one that was drinking from this cup. And Lamentation 4:21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked. The cup has been passing unto the hand of the daughter of Edom, which is consists of all the other nations in Psalm 83. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. There will be no Jacob's trouble, be at peace, man. Father will not carry us into captivity again. That is why you see all those things are happening, brethren. You see this man, the cup has been passing on to them. Things like that, beloved, you used to see them happen in the hood, used to happen in our neighborhood. Now the ley lines switch. You used to see places where those people put their businesses, okay, their little strip mall where the ley line is positive, bringing the money. Now all they have is shooting. Oh, my apologies, popcorns. Beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, let's give the Most High all praises and all glory. He is purifying and cleansing our land.
Sending crowds running in the city's nightlife district. Tonight, that gunman still on the run, and authorities are reviewing camera footage to determine exactly what happened. CBS correspondent Michael George has those details.
Austin police say whoever opened fire early Saturday in the city's downtown entertainment district was able to get away. Interim Austin Police Chief Joseph Chacon says authorities are looking for 2 male suspects.
I'm not going to release any further information because the investigation is very much ongoing, and we are actively working to get them into custody.
Investigators are trying to determine what sparked the violence.
There was a large crowd of people that were there at that time. We are back to our normal size crowds that we were seeing before COVID hit.
The wounded were taken to several area hospitals.
This does appear to be an isolated incident.
Of course, it's isolated. You see, when they say those code words, say this was an isolated incident, that means the Most High is not targeted you. It's not something that was planned. It's just something that randomly happened for the past few months. All those things are just randomly happening. Beloved brothers and sisters, this is plague number 9 and number 10 and number 5. Execution by the sword and destruction by the sword. All those things are happening, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, because the Most High is bringing them unto them. All those MS and popcorn, and we told those people this thing is going to increase. You see, brethren, the energy that's going around the earth, the ley line is moving. This district, brothers, this is a district where those people having all their businesses, you know, they come over there, they enjoy. Most likely, beloved, it's a minor argument. Probably over some McDonald's. But they did not have a holy one there. They did not have one of us here that could neutralize the situation. A minor argument turned deadly. A minor argument turned destructive. This is the place that they have the positive ley lines. This is the place that those people used to come and enjoy the blessing. Nothing ever really happened over there. They're having the same problem in Orlando. There's a place downtown Orlando where they have those little strip place working where people come over there and enjoy themselves. And now all they have is shooting. Remember that brother, that military fellow, I believe he was a Marine, a veteran. Okay, he got shot by another veteran right there in the strip. He was just working, going to his house to do some birthday stuff for his the daughter, and then he met with a group of people. He say, excuse me, can I pass there? And they tell him no. And then one of the guy, and then in a little argument happened, he pulled up a gun and shot and killed him. The guy that shot and killed him is another veteran. Now you see, brethren, how those people cannot enjoy this blessing. Let us keep on moving, brethren. Listen, I haven't watched all the video because most likely they are the same.
5th Street, also known as Chicago's Black Wall Street, are coming together. They are vowing not to let the violence or the pandemic stop this neighborhood from thriving. At her Brown Sugar Bakery on 75th Street, founder Stephanie Hart offers a piece of cake for peace.
To the wicked out there, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, in a comment board in our live chat. This woman right there, I'm still trying to get a hang of that, is making a cake for peace. I want you to type, tell them what the Most High say they will have. Tell them what the Most High say, you people, you wicked that been doing all those wicked stuff. What will you have? Tell them. They are talking about peace now.
Piece of cake for peace to a neighborhood just hours after it's once again besieged by violence.
We've been working extremely hard to try to create an environment, especially during the pandemic, that people felt good about coming.
The business is one of several in the city's Chatham neighborhood.
Now, this business is located in 75th Street and the Nation. You already know what to do here. They call it 75th Street. This is the Most High clearly, as they talking to us and tell us this is what he's going to do. This is what he's doing. Beloved, this is not a fluke. This is not going to go away. They may choose not to talk about it, but it's going to stand there. I don't care the heathens, the 2/3. As long as you don't bend the knee for the Most High, you are going to pay for this. Beloved, I don't care who you are. If you are not in this truth, you are not covered. The Most High may or may not give you a sign that you are covered, but if you truly uncover your heart, he will cover you. Now, the people over there, they think this is like, okay, because of the pre-pandemic and after pre-pandemic and stuff like that. No, the energy, the ley line are switching. The Most High is sending spirits out there.
Reacting to the early morning mass shooting that left a Chicago woman dead and several others wounded. Over the last 30 years, businessman Eddie Al-Hatib has owned numerous establishments in the community, including currently A&M.
Beloved brothers, Jews and Gentiles alike, give the Most High our praises. Give the Most High our praises, beloved. What are the words on the screen right now that catch your attention? When we say the Most High is sending stuff, there are things working among people, possessing their body. And this is the Most High telling you straight up, it's true. All praises to the Most High, beloved. Yes, the Most High is sending, there are things out there, brethren. If you don't have a good shield, a good spiritual firmament around your body, those things will jump in your body. They'll jump and attach themselves to your soul. There's a new wine out there and a new spirit. And the Most High is sending a lot of spirits out there. The Most High is unleashing a lot of spirits spirits in the midst of the Gentiles and also the freaking 2/3. Wine and spirit. Now, look at this dude. Those are the Gentiles, brethren. Let me see if I can get this dude. Let's move.
Beverages. He's concerned the violence will make efforts to stabilize the area even harder.
The sad part is we are working with the neighbors and with the police department and the city of Chicago to help overcome these problems that the gun is the problem.
No, it's not. This is the guy, his ancestor came upon our loin. This is those people that came in the hood, and this was supposed to be a Black Wall Street, Chicago stuff. What the hell this dude is doing over there, doing business in our neighborhood? Those are the people that come in the hood, brothers. They open any little business, the Most High bless them. It's not like they're smart. That guy's not smart at all. It's not like they know how to do business. They don't know how to do business at all. It's because they were under the blessing. And now, what they are seeing now, what they are noticing now, what they are understanding now, that this thing is not the same way as it was. Oh man, give me a second. Oh. Oh, this thing almost fell. Bags, stuff my daughter put there. These are the people. Those are the people that came in and then come in our hood and put any little business, and they are blessed. And they are, and behind closed door, they are calling, "Hey, you black people are so stupid. You guys don't know how to do any business. How come this Arab fellow come over there dirt poor and in your hood and do a business and do better than you? You mean this guy that just walk up into Bank of America and ask them for money? He didn't even sign the paper. They give him a bag full of money. You mean that guy that the health inspector never asked him for anything? Remember that thing that happened, that popcorn, that MS that happened in Florida at that hookah place. The code violation, they come there, they saw so many code violation. A bunch of stuff this business violated. But you never seen them do this to our people, because this thing was owned by another person that is not us. They don't bother them. They let them do anything. Anytime one of our people got a little business running, they will get harassed. You know, people will come and lie on them. People will come in and say all kind of things. I remember there's a dude in Texas that was doing barbecue, was doing the best barbecue. And he was beating his competition. He was a black dude. And next thing you know, people start complaining to the city. They are giving him tickets. People are saying that he's serving dog ribs, human ribs. They are doing all sort of things to the food. And then the health inspector was all up in that dude business. There was another brother that owned a zoo. I never heard of that. I never heard of our people owning zoo. There was a black man owning a zoo. His business was doing so well. Much more people are coming to his business. And another zoo that was somewhere in the area start complaining. They take pictures. They make false video and accusing him of abusing the animals. Because you people also worry about what we are doing. You let guy like this go free, he does whatever he please. There was another thing that going on with the black woman. She had some type of feminine honeycomb or something like that going on online, and they tried to boycott it from Target and stuff like that because it was doing pretty well. Our people always being the target. And now this dude is, all this thing is caused by guns and stuff. Oh, hell no, man. The Mosai is doing this.
Shots rang out around 2 o'clock Saturday morning as people socialized along the public-friendly boardwalk area on 75th Street as Chicago officially reopened. Locals say it's known as a spot where people bring their stylish cars and motorcycles to show them off. This woman who did not want to be on camera.
They just reopened. And then this is a place where people bought their cars and motorcycles, show off, show all the blessing. And then we're in step number 10. That's why you see 10 people got shot and one of them died. Okay, this is the Most High telling those people your blessing is over. And I'm doing this in 75th Street on the behalf. No, 7 plus 5, 12, of course, all praises to the Most High. I'm doing this on the behalf of my children, and it's only going to get worse. Let us move to the next video, brethren.
Jonathan Sion, good evening. The Austin interim police chief says his department is using every resource they have to find that second suspect. He's also calling on DPS to help with security this weekend because of events like this bike rally happening right here behind me. We spoke to one man who's visiting Austin this weekend, and he and his friends are still.
All right. Always some grotesque scumbag coming over there with that shirt. Don't thread on me. You talking about guns, brothers. You're talking about violence, gun, and mass shooting, and this dude coming with this shirt right there. That's the Most High clowning them. Okay, that's the Most High clowning them. Those are the scumbags that come in over there and they shot people and they get shot too. Okay, that's the same thing that happened in Houston. And I don't even want to go into the comment. They're all, oh, if they don't show the suspect, that means he's not white and stuff like that. And okay, those are the scumbags.
Processing what happened.
Last night was really kind of an eye-opener and a crazy experience.
It was supposed to be a fun night for Noah Ramirez. The Seattle native was visiting Austin, hanging out with friends on East 6th Street.
We were all leaning over the top of the balcony, actually, looking down into the street, just kind of conversating. And we turned our backs, and next thing you know, we heard some loud, gunshots.
The popular area that was packed with people inside bars and barricaded off from traffic turned into a crime scene.
We turn around and sure enough, we see, quite a few bodies on the ground, people bleeding, officers running in to try and help.
Investigators say what started as a dispute between two people turned into a shooting and sent 14 people to the hospital. 2 remain in critical condition.
Now, like we said before, this is the same thing. They give us another, excuse me, another angle of it. Simple argument, brethren. Simple talk, man. Yo, I order a pina colada and you give me a whiskey and I'm not Boris Johnson's, as I don't drink this, so what's going on? And then the guy could have said, I'm sorry, man. Boris Johnson come here all the time. He's in my mind. So, hey, here you go, man. Here's a pina colada. Hey, here's another one for free, man. Be at peace, all right, man? Just chill, all right? And then they will laugh and go. They are not under the blessing. They are not. That's why all those things are happening. They are not under the blessing. Brethren, this thing is real, man. This thing is, listen, beloved, be very careful when you ask the Most High to do something on the behalf of the nation or on the behalf of the covenant, damn it. Brothers, I am terrifying of the Most High's will, man. I am definitely afraid of this God. Because when I ask him to do something, brothers, he did it in a way that I was not expecting. And it took me a while to understand, like, wait, the Father's doing this because I asked him to do that for me. Why is this thing is happening? And I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. Father, please go ahead. Keep doing this. Remove this thing. So be it. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises. Be very careful. Now, let us move to the next video, brothers.
Morning, we've learned the person accidentally shot outside the Sawgrass Mills Mall in Sunrise has died. Investigators spent Saturday morning focusing on a car behind crime scene tape there. Our cameras saw evidence markers, personal belongings, and possible blood on the ground. Police say they're not looking for the shooter. No word yet on the victim's identity.
So yeah, so somebody was driving and then they shot at this person. Then again, he didn't make it. All praise.
An update on a drive-by shooting in Yonkers that left multiple people hurt. Police say they've now arrested 4 suspects in the case. 3 have been charged with attempted murder. Surveillance video captured the crime. Police tell us a 17-year-old boy from Mount Vernon was the one who opened fire from a car as it drove past a group of people on Elm and Oak Streets. 3 men and a woman were hurt. Investigators believe the suspects were involved in a gang and that the shooter was targeting possible rivals.
So this is what happened. The people, the 2/3, and they're going to do what they're doing, and you cannot stop them because the gang life, they live that. And I despise when all people see things like this and they're trying to defend those guys and saying something else. Okay, you can clearly see this dude pop his head over there and start shooting stuff. Okay, and then I think he hit nobody died though, so he hit that guy in the belly.
As it drove
okay,
past
he hit
a
this
group
guy
of
in the
people
belly, and then he hit that guy in the
on
leg.
Elm and Oak Streets. 3 men and a woman were hurt. Investigators believe the police tell us a 17-year-old boy from Mount Vernon was the one who opened fire from a car as it drove past a group of people on Elm.
So that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, those guys are the one that will do this scumbag stuff they see on movie and TV. Gang members back then used to do this thing only if they have serious beef. When I mean serious beef, unless one of them got taken out unrighteously. Unless one of them got taken out wrongfully. There's an interview on that Russian guy. His name is Vlad TV. There's the rolling 60s. There was a war between. I don't want to say name for the YouTube algorithm in the computer. But there was a war between two gangs, a rival. Okay, rolling something and the other one, and it started, brethren, and hundreds of, well, literally thousands of them die. Why? Because there was a woman, well, a young girl, a virgin, that was dating one guy from the 60s, from one gang, and then another dude from the other gang liked her, and then she dated that guy. So, and the guy say, "Whoa, yo, why you SFing with my girl?" And that she like, he like, "Yo, he was my girl first. She was my girl first." And then the argument broke out. Another guy shoot this guy, and the next thing you know, thousands of guys going to die because an argument that happened because of some relationship that had nothing to do with the gang life, nothing to do with the drug life. That has everything to do with the relationship, girlfriend and boyfriend life. And then now you got those guys, they will do stupid things like this. And then they will end up in jail. Because I don't know, they were in my block. I own this block. Negro, you don't even own the clothes that you're wearing, the shoes. You're a straight up guy. You just bow those things. How you on the block? Stupid things like this, man. That's why the 2/3 got to go, man. All praises to the Most High.
One of the shootings happened here in the Westwood neighborhood, where this community is already doing so much to change its image and combat crime. Residents and business owners are understandably frustrated.
It's something you don't like to see in your neighborhood.
Right down the street from this restaurant, a triple shooting on Thursday that left 2 people dead and sent another person to the hospital.
The violence is not welcome in this neighborhood.
Noe Bermudez's restaurant is in one of 5 areas that the Denver Police Department is targeting. He wants his customers to be able to feel safe.
We are working hard to impact in a good way, so definitely we had more work to do.
Since Denver police announced the effort, the department has been gathering data in order to more precisely target policing, and officials are meeting with city partners to identify things they can do to help.
Obviously, we've targeted the right locations because 2 of those shootings.
There are so many things over there, brothers. This number, whatever numbers cut, let's see if our people are catching the Most High drift. Okay. You know, there are a couple numbers here. You know, there are 2 holy numbers here that catch the Most High people attention. You know. So 70 for the 70 shepherd. 70 is a big day, a big number for our people. 40 days and 40 days fast. Okay, the 40 days is a very good number. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 10 plus 7 equals 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8. A new beginning. Okay, so the Most High is like talking to a whole video.
Can do to help.
Obviously, we've targeted the right locations because 2 of those
400 years
shootings that happened last night occurred in those locations, and it just really highlights the fact that that these are locations that we desperately need to do something about.
Last year, we also reported on another attempt to reduce crime in.
Anyway, it's just what they are seeing here, brethren. Is that thing even recording? Yes, it is. What they are seeing here, brethren, it's a spike. 4 dead, several injury and shooting and stabbing across the Denver metro area. And it seems to happen for no reason and any reasons. Like, okay, this guy starts stabbing people because he felt like to stab people. Again, brothers, you have to understand the reason why I'm saying is that thing recording. It's because when you look at the beloved brother Big Judah video, you see part 1, and then he had to upload part 2. Part 1 briskly cut off, and he had to do part 2. That's what happened. It briskly cut off. Sometimes you're recording something, and then something, it just stopped. You don't even notice, and then you're talking, and then you upload the video. Last time you upload the video, it was cut short. That's why you always have to keep checking and checking, because you will receive an attack. Spiritual things will happen like this. Let us keep on moving, brothers.
This shootout in Brooklyn was caught on camera, and police are trying to track.
Okay, another 2.
This shootout in Brooklyn was caught on camera, and police are trying to track down the people involved. Around 12:50 in the morning Monday, someone inside a sedan driving on St. Mark's Avenue between New York and Brooklyn Avenues in Crown Heights started shooting at a group of people on the sidewalk. 2 of those people then pulled out guns and started shooting at the car. There were no reports of any injuries, but anyone with any...
That's what happened, brethren. You know, anytime, I told you, anytime you see a bunch of dudes loitering around, you know, just standing in front of stores, doing nothing, they're just loitering. It's like, yo, nothing going on here. And then if there's another store, go to the other. But if you have to go to the store, you just go, you know, just get whatever. I was trying to avoid those dudes because they're always up to no good, up to nothing. And then things like that will happen. And some of our people don't like when we say things like this. But the sword will cleave on to those guys too, because they don't want to come to the Most High.
An update on a drive-by shooting in Yonkers that left multiple people hurt. Police say they've now arrested 4 suspects in the case. 3 have been charged with attempted murder. Surveillance video captured the crime. Police tell us a 17-year-old.
Okay, that's the one. They caught this guy. So, okay.
They look like young...
Now, brothers, this is pretty disturbing, but all praises to the Most High. Watch this.
Sweethearts just goofing around until this chilling boast.
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on the camera.
They admit to committing a murder.
It was worth it.
Now, beloved, this will not bring peace to certain one of you, because I know a certain person that are dealing with the similar situation where his daughter is dating one of those dudes and he doesn't want the daughter to end up with that guy, but the situation is similar. It's forbid her to see this person, and then now this thing is happening, and there are possibility for things to happen and end up just like that. You got this grown man, 18 years old, with this 16-year-old girl, play on her head. The father didn't want her to date him, and then he plotted with her and then go ahead and murdered the father. Okay, watch this, brothers. Watch this.
The victim, according to prosecutors, the girl's own father, Daniel Helseth.
Put in 25 push-ups, huh? How's that sound?
The dad was a fitness and travel buff who loved to post videos online, including these moments as a doting dad.
There's Sierra.
But he reportedly didn't approve of his 16-year-old daughter, Sierra, dating 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero. And he wasn't alone. His ex-wife, Elizabeth, a former Nevada Republican state senator, also had a problem with her daughter's relationship.
Now you're seeing the so-called Republicans, the so-called politicians, their kids are wreaking havoc. The Most High is taking up their kids, and their kids are taking them out. Okay, last time we had this black woman. She was one of those senators, one of those politicians, and they shot and killed her son in front of some kind of building. Those people that's standing in the middle, in front of our people, against our people, are catching hell. Now you understand why this happened. Why the Most High had to take the father away and use the daughter and the boyfriend to do this. Sweet little girl, brothers. Sweet little girl. A sweet little kid. The father playing with her, you'll see, man.
After they banned Sierra from...
You see, this is an abusive behavior, slapping her. That means this dude, he looked like a Moabite, so to speak, and he does things to this kid. Okay, watch the behavior.
Seeing Aaron, Sierra's father,
the choking
disappeared.
behavior.
He's been missing for 2 days. His work's called, his family's called, I've called, his ex-wife's called, and there's nobody answering the phone. I know there's something very wrong going on here.
There was indeed, as friends found out when they checked in on Halseth's home in Las Vegas that he had been renovating.
But there's a dead body in the garage we just found.
Halseth had been stabbed to death and his body set on fire. Cops say Sierra Halseth and her boyfriend took off in her dad's car right after the slaying. They were arrested days later, 400 miles away in Salt Lake City, after apparently trying to dodge a train fare. Prosecutors say they found that chilling video on the girl's cell phone. It appears to have been taken in a tent while they were on the run. At one point, Aaron put his hands around Sierra's neck.
See, this is the type of behavior they get involved with. That's what those guys does, brethren. This is a sweet little kid. You're raising that little girl to murder you. That's what happened to our people. This kid being caught up, they're making like videos, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram or whatever social media garbage they're doing out there. They just murder someone, and not anybody. The girl father, because you didn't want us to be together. And I have a person that are dealing exactly with this in the family. A family member is dealing with the exact same thing. This dude is trash. He's a horrible guy. He's dating a 15-year-old girl. And the family don't want that. Our people don't want that. And this girl is acting up. And then things like that happen.
The two were also caught on security camera buying bleach and other items cops say were used to clean up the crime scene.
They're not that smart, man. They're not that smart. All praises to the Most High. Next video.
17-year-old girl.
Oh, all right. Because of this, it's playing one ear. These two. What's his name again? That guy got a funny name. El Ghetto. What's his name?
Let me introduce you to Raul Rodriguez.
Okay, Raul Rodriguez.
And take you back to about January the 20th of this year.
So he killed the father of the underage girl he was dating, okay? Beloved, you don't know how often things like that happen. Underage kids, they watch things online. Brothers, graphic things, man. We talk about this like back when I was growing up. I was a teenager. I didn't have the internet, but I had those fake. I had those not those fake, but those small little DVDs player and stuff. They look like little small laptop, but they play DVDs and stuff. Those things was all the rage back in 03 and 02, early 2000 and like early 2000 and the middle of 2000. Now those kids will see things and then they really don't know, they don't have the capacity, not the capacity, it's just like this whole place is immature. When a young woman, a virgin, let's say quote unquote, she is 12 years old, she reached the age of maturity physically, I'm saying she reached puberty, so to speak. You have to tell this young woman that she is a woman. She mess with anybody out there, things will happen. There'll be bread baking on that oven. We cannot sit there and say, oh, she's just a child. She doesn't know anything about it. That's the problem. And she will go and mess with dude like this. And then they'll get so emotionally attached to those guys. And those guys will just do anything to their loved one. They won't say anything. This guy says, baby, I'm so in love with you. I'm going to kill your dad because he doesn't want to be with me. He doesn't approve our relationship. And then the girl will say, you have my blessing. Go ahead and do it so we can be together. That's what happened, man. Another father got killed by the daughter, boyfriend, or whatever, man. Crazy. Crazy, man. I have those teenagers are all over the place, and they don't mess with little other teenagers like them. They want to mess with grown up men because that's all they see all over the social media. They want to do adult stuff. You can't do, as a young virgin, you cannot do adult stuff with another like 14 or 12-year-old little boy. You need a man like this to do it. That's what they saw. And this guy shamelessly just go over there and kill that fellow. Anyway, man.
In the 1100 block of South Karlov this afternoon. It's here, they say, where a 14-year-old, Tyrese Taylor, was shot and killed as he walked down the sidewalk, the gunfire coming from a passing car. The Sun-Times reports him and his family were loading up a U-Haul today to leave in an attempt to escape the gun violence in the city, much of which, said Superintendent David Brown earlier this week, is a result of the gang culture.
Much of the violence.
Again, bring the Negroes over there, you know, put them here, put them in front to give the bad news.
That we've seen over this weekend and throughout the year is driven by a gang culture.
And Mayor Lori Lightfoot says Chicago needs the help of the feds now more than ever to stem the tide.
All praises to the Most High. Next video.
Breaking at the top of the 6, News 4 just confirming a teen is the one who was shot at this South City restaurant, which we brought to you live at 5. St. Louis police now tell us this 17-year-old boy tried stealing a tip jar from Utah Station. Police also say the teen assaulted a customer who tried stopping the theft from the Benton Park restaurant.
Right now, that teen is at the hospital. No word on his condition. Police took the person who fired the shot into custody. It's not clear if they're tied to the restaurant, but News 4 did speak to Utah Station just a short time ago. They didn't want to comment, but did tell us they are shut down for the rest of the night. We'll continue to gather information.
Anyway, some kids don't, I don't know. Some kid tried to steal a tip jar and then they got killed.
Yeah. I'm in this bitch with a couple killers, man.
Yeah.
Billy Adams is known in the rap world as Ace NH. But in the real world, he is a double murder defendant. In November of 2020, Adams is accused of gunning down 2 men in a converted recording studio in Lutz. Investigators say Adams is a gang member, and they believe the shooting was connected to a gang feud involving weapons and money.
I was facing my computer, and I heard 2 gunshots.
Joseph Meeks owns the studio and witnessed all of it. He testified during Adams' bond hearing.
What did you see? Basically, all I seen was the people not moving and Adams standing there with a gun.
Aside from being a rap artist, Adams graduated from USF with a bachelor's degree in science in management. The judge agreed to release him on bond with conditions that include house arrest and an ankle monitor. But now Adams tells the court he and his family are sitting ducks after receiving several threatening text messages. Your whole family's gonna die.
This is why the shootings are happening. Now you got this 2-third dude in the studio with 2 other guys, and then some argument broke out. Something, I don't know, something like, there's so minim, so microscopic happened. He ended up killing 2 people in there. And then the family of the people that you killed, they ain't gonna sit and then look at you like this, man. They're gonna come after you. That is why those guys, they'll go to party trying to escape those things, and then people will see them at the party, and then they go ahead and spray the whole room. They'll go to a bus party, and then people will spray the whole bus, and they will survive. Believe that. They will survive. And our people, they got a bad habit when this dude, okay, he did, Regin, listen. One of the things we told you to stay out of it. When this guy did something like that, this is on him. This is his responsibility. You should not step in his face and try to help a homie. I'm trying to help my dog, man. He's my brother. He's my dog. I'm trying to help him out so he won't go to jail. And then you're harboring this guy in your house. You got children. You're doing a little party, a little birthday party, a little graduation. That guy show up, okay? And then the people that sent him these texts, and then somebody saw him in that graduation or whatever celebration they are doing, and then they come over there, they shoot everybody but him. That's why you have to stay away from those people like this, because they will bring around you bad energy. They will be around you. They'll bring all sort of demons and spirit with them. Remember, there was a sister who called, I believe, Sister Blackfoot. Her son came in, tried to come to her house all drunk and stuff like that, talking all kind of hish and trying to be this, trying to be that. And he told the son, you're not going to come inside my house. He speak great things against the Most High. The mom said, get the hell out of here or I'm going to call the police and they're going to come over here. They're going to do things to you. And then the son, he was drunk. He speak great things against the Most High. And then he went away. And then after a couple of hours, they call her and say, your son is in the hospital. When she goes to the hospital, she find out that he was hospitalized because he was eating a chicken. And he bites so hard in the chicken meat. And then the bones split. And then his teeth bite off his lips. Cut off his lips, the blood was all over because he spoke great things against the Most High. Those are the people, that's a cousin right here, man. Those are the people we need to stay the hell away from. We need to stay away from those people. We're not supposed to be in the midst of them and try to gang Negro and stuff with them. I don't live the gang life, man. This is what the gang life does to you. That life, you spent your entire life, you never, any consequences, you can pull gun on people, you can do whatever you want. And you know for a fact, the homie will back you up. Until he got real. All right? Those are the people, man.
This since 8 o'clock last night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Gutierrez.
And I'm Christine Noel in for Lauren this evening. Those 7 people were shot at 6 different scenes all across the city. 4 of those 7 were killed in those shootings, including one man who was shot and killed while pumping gas on the southwest side of town last night. Our Jonathan Martinez live at that location on Stella Link near the South Loop with neighborhood reaction to that shooting tonight. Jonathan?
Yeah, Christine, it is back to business as usual for this gas station, but less than 24 hours ago, it was roped off with crime scene tape as police were investigating a deadly shooting, one that has left those in this area pretty shaken. Leftover crime scene tape still up, evidence of a deadly shooting at the Southwest Side gas station Tuesday night.
I'm actually very shocked and very upset because nothing like this has ever happened down my street.
That's exactly what we're saying. That's exactly what we are saying, brothers. Sisters, that's what we're saying. Those people always say things like that. It never happened nowhere near us. As long as it happened in Chicago in the hood, that's fine. That's fine. This is good. Now the ley line is switching. Things like that are happening, and those people, you know, they don't know what to do. So, beloved, since I told you there are certain things, certain people in the house, and you know, places and stuff, and I want to publish this thing by 8:30, so let me do another one with the ley lines and the fires. So let's pull more video. Okay, it's already 52 minutes. Pull more. And just like that, we're back with the second part. My apology, I'm trying to make this as quick as we can. Let me see. There you go. All right, let's move in with this.
This morning, we just got this video into our newsroom of a crash on the city's west side. It involves Chicago police officers. Police tell us that another car smashed into the officers. This was in the South Austin neighborhood. 2 officers went to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. We don't know the condition of the other driver. The officers were responding to a call of a man with a gun when that crash happened. Near the
All praises, man. All praises. 2 police officers, they got involved with this crash.
New this morning, video from a bad crash on the north side. A BMW drove right into a building on Damon Avenue at Elston. This is right across from Midtown Athletic Club. Our nonstop news crew says they saw 1, possibly 2 people being put into ambulances. We're waiting to hear now for updates from Chicago officials as to who was hurt. This is a brand new building right in the middle of that intersection where
Okay, right in the middle of the ley line. Brand new building they just built. They're sucking up on the energy. It's happened. All praises to the Most High.
Breaking news, Sky 9 over a crash in Pacoima right now near the 12,000 block of Osborne Street. We're told 2 vehicles were involved.
Yeah, there could be as many as 6 patients transported to the hospital. No word on their conditions and no word yet on what may have caused this crash.
They don't know what causing it. We do. All praises to the Most High, man. Now, this is one of those recycling places, and you always see that those recycling places always caught on fire. They always caught on fire. Okay, yeah, for some reason they caught on fire because those things on top of ley line anyway. So, you know, and this happened yesterday, the 12th and stuff. It's always this is plague number 2. All right, fiery conflagration of the cities. Okay, it's only going to get worse.
About a half an hour when he said all of a sudden that truck shifted into reverse and went rolling backwards right toward the outdoor dining area. Witnesses described a harrowing scene where friends were looking out for friends.
Mi amigo lo que hizo fue jalarme.
This woman says multiple friends pulled her out of the way of a pickup truck as it barreled in reverse towards them and a packed outside dining area. It happened at San Jose's Agave Sports Bar and Grill Friday night at about 9. Everyone closest to the parking lot got out of the way. But San Jose PD says 32-year-old Alex Marino's pickup rolled right into 3 people who were seated at a table next to an exterior wall. All 3 were hospitalized, 2 men and 1 woman. The woman later died at the hospital, and the men are expected to be okay.
Now, what you're seeing here, brothers, those people cannot even go somewhere and enjoy a dinner. They cannot go anywhere to enjoy some food. Anywhere they try to go, brothers, you got the Most High is bringing something onto them. You saw this happen multiple times when those people are going out and then get some stuff and they get killed. Like a few weeks ago, we were watching some dude in New York. He was a delivery driver. He came to pick up some food, and in a car came out of nowhere and wrecked the car, wrecked the outside diner. They could kill him. Now those people can't go anywhere without enjoying the blessing, without 1, worry about somebody shoot up the place, 2, car run up and then kill them, 3, fire, 4, the plague, which is still going on strong. Okay, in the meantime, let us check the plague, see what's going on there. Let us, it's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. We have it, let's check overview. Today, let me see. Which country have the most virus? Detail variant producing most severe illness. Doctors in China said. Flying overseas, there's a lot and stuff like that. Today is the 13th. That was June 12th, yesterday. Okay, so it's 410,000 a day. It's still high, brothers. It's still high. And then in China, a lot of things going in China, and I don't want to go ahead and get involved with what's happening in China right now, because they will always take your video down and say, oh, you are doing information and false information and things like that. But it's still going on, all right? All praises to the Most High.
A scary scene on the 5 freeway in Gorman today after a truck caught fire, sparking a 5-acre brush.
Okay, so this is fiery conflagration of the city, plague number 2. You're going to see that a lot, man. And then it's happened way too often. Oh. So now,
Hi.
this is in Australia. Okay, this is in Australia, all right? Snow pile covering cars and streets. The coldest snowstorm in 100 years hits Australia, North South Wales, I believe, Northwest. Well, I'm not quite sure what that is. But this is plague number 6, increase of hail and snow, brothers. 100 years. They now seeing like this is the coldest, okay, ever since 1919 or 1921. Okay, ever since 1921, and then they are seeing this right now. All right. This is the Most High doing his thing, man. Okay. Heavy snowfall. All right. And Australia, give the Most High all praises, man. I mean, Australia is all reversed. It's the summer for us. Well, almost. It's the winter for them. So All praises.
Now on CBS 2 News and streaming on CBS 10 Los Angeles, breaking news in Long Beach, a deadly hit and run. A car crashed into a security station at an apartment complex, killing a security guard. Long Beach police say the driver, who was the only one in the car, ran from the scene after the crash.
Yeah, you can see it here, all the damage and debris left behind when that car plowed through that small building. This is at the Century Villages at Cabrillo Apartments in Long Beach. Detectives are on scene now investigating. We do have a crew there gathering information. We'll bring you the latest as a...
So they killed this fellow, man. Hit and run. You know it's the ley line, man. Okay, and those things, they are being monitored. And people are watching them, brothers. Over 100,000 people. They are watching this, okay? This man was just trying to do his job, okay? Okay, and then they see that. They say the stupid person never dies, but the innocent do. They always see this. They always see this. They always see the guy never died, but an innocent person died. But this is the Most High, man.
We begin with that terrible story in Brooklyn, where police say a mother threw her 2 young children, including a newborn, out of a second-story window this morning. CBS 2's Kieran Dillon reports from Brownsville with new information from witnesses.
Jessica, the terrifying incident that's left 2 children injured, one of them critically, took place at this apartment building here in Brownsville. Police are now investigating why a mother would throw 2 of her children out of a window. Police say the 24-year-old mother first threw her 4-week-old daughter out of this second-floor window at 178 Rockaway Parkway, followed by her 2-year-old son. The mom, naked and possibly suffering from mental illness, then jumped out behind them.
We started to scream because we saw a newborn baby on the ground with blood coming from the hair.
Neighbor Shandy Harrison heard the baby's cries and rushed to see what was going on. She says the mom was still trying to hurt the baby.
My brother-in-law, he was the one who ran and jumped over the fence and tried to get the baby from the mom, which the mom was trying to fight my brother-in-law not to take the baby, so he was the one who took the baby from the mom.
Harrison says the mom appeared to be out of her mind. She says after her brother-in-law got the kids away from their mother, she appeared distraught yet grateful.
She was asking for help. She asked my brother-in-law to take care of the baby. I hope she get the best help she can. You know, a family member try to reach out to her, and people are in the surrounding. She needs help.
Now, the reason why is this happening, brothers, fathers releasing spirits, and a lot of people, they are not covered. Okay, they are in these church mindsets. Okay, they are in that Christian things, and those spirits will take over the body, and then they will possess them, and they will do things like this. All praises to the Most High. This is for humor.
Dear God. Freaking cat.
Brethren, those people used to enjoy the blessing. Now a freaking cat, man. Just a cat. Okay, now I'm sensing like this dude, most likely, he bought those flowers for himself. Most likely that guy have a massive, a giant cowboy hat inside of his house. Now you see, brothers, the Most High startled those people with any kind of thing. This is just the Most High sense of humor, man. Okay, this is just a freaking cat, man.
Dear God. You freaking cat.
Yeah, those cats, man. You know, my daughter loved them, but, you know, that cat scared this dude, man. This guy was like, he just get home, you know, get us some, flower for his wife or husband. He just calmly walk around and go home, and this damn cat.
Dear God. You freaking cat.
Yeah, a cat just sent this guy. So this is the most terrifying them, man. Bringing that spirit of fear in the midst of them. All
thing for us was our good friend.
An eyewitness reportedly told police the Mercedes sports car was racing a BMW up 3rd Street, going what looked like 90 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. Investigators say they're looking into the possibility of street racing as well.
The people say he was going a high rate of speed. I don't know.
But if you look at the skid marks.
But Danny's friend Joey Fitz thinks he was trying his best to slow down and certainly didn't mean for this to happen.
When you have a nice car and you can pick up speed with it, be safe.
By the grace of God, the kids weren't in the room when the car hit.
Megan Weaver's friend owns the home. She says kids were in the room right behind the garage.
Let's listen to what happened to these women.
A deadly crash and a fire at a Hancock Park home.
And tonight, friends gathered to remember the driver killed. KCAL9's Nicole Comstock is live in Hancock Park at this hour with the very latest. Nicole?
That's right, Jeff. Tonight, loved ones came out here for a vigil to honor the life of the young man who died out here in this crash into this Hancock Park home that ended with it being yellow tagged as well. Friends try to figure out how it happened, how 20-year-old Danny Lazarnajad crashed a Mercedes into this garage late Thursday night in Hancock Park. The young man they loved died in the fire that followed.
Did everything for us.
So this young man, okay, this is the plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the cities, and this man, you know, he was somewhat he was racing. Then again, brothers, we told you, those people used to do this, nothing ever happened to them. It was so popular. They got like 10 Fast and Furious, 9 so far. I believe they got 9 Fast and Furiouses and that stuff. I only like the first and the second, that's it. I only watch 2 of them, and then the rest is just commercial. They just like giant advertisement, cash grab. I don't even watch those things, you know. And now those people do not understand that when they were in the blessing, they can do anything that they feel like. They can drive the car really fast and racing and stuff. I don't know why would people race another person just for pleasure and stuff, then you end up dead. They are seeing this, brothers, okay? They are seeing this, all right? And then the car hit a house, and then this woman says something right here.
Speed with it, be safe.
By the grace of God, the kids weren't in the room when.
You see, people like her, they never had to give the Most High glory. And I understand when she said by the grace of God, she meant her God. You never saw those people in the news giving thanks to God because of something horrible that was going to happen to them didn't happen, because they are never being in this type of situation. They never been in this type of situation. Everything always worked for them. It never happened to them. They don't have the they don't have the necessity to call for God, for God's help, to thank God, of course. They just enjoy the blessing. Now those people are being humble. Okay? Back then, if this that what happened, if this did happen to this woman, should I say, thanks to my job, I had to go ahead and do something with the kids. Thanks to the birthday party. Thanks to my friend, he called me and I said, let me take the kids out. Or thanks to the kids saying, we're hungry. Let's just go somewhere and get some food. And then this thing happened. And now those people, slowly but surely, they are bowing down and bend the knee.
God, the kids.
Sorry, and you can pick up speed with it. Be safe.
By the grace of God, the kids weren't in the room when the car hit.
Megan Weaver's friend owns the home. She says kids were in the room right behind the garage a short time before the crash. Thankfully, no one else was hurt. But tonight, the home is boarded up and yellow tagged, meaning it's unsafe for the family to stay here overnight. Neighbors say they hear cars speeding up and down this street every day.
Thank God that the children were spared. She was spared. My heart goes out to the family of the young man.
That's what those people are doing. They're always giving God praises and credit now, because this thing is coming upon them. They are humbling themselves down. Usually you out here think Jesus, and hey, Jesus, the blood of Jesus was upon this house. No, now they go straight to the Father. Because the 100 monkey experiment. If you hear those loud noises, it's the thing coming up.
Man who perished.
All right, so next video.
New this morning, an early morning apartment fire in Calumet City sends a few people to the hospital. The fire breaking out just a few hours ago at 158th Place there. Our cameras caught a number of people being given oxygen and taken away on stretchers as well. Fire crews working to put that fire out at the same time. It's still not clear how the fire started or...
They're never clear. All praises to the Most High.
Of the force is in good spirits. Unfortunately, he's still being treated for those injuries here in the ICU.
10 has this witness video showing a North Miami Beach officer on the ground after being run over by a fleeing driver. That led to another officer shooting that driver, who's now facing an attempted murder charge. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with the latest on how that police officer is doing. Roy.
Nicole, well, the good news here is that officer, who we have learned is a 17-year veteran of the force, is in good spirits. Unfortunately, he's still being treated for those injuries here in the ICU at Aventura Hospital. That suspect also being treated here in stable condition, but we are learning that she is now facing some pretty serious charges.
There's a cop on the floor. There's a cop? Yeah, and then the suspect right there.
A witness recording on his cell phone moments after a North Miami Beach police officer is knocked to the ground after being hit by a car Thursday. Investigators said minutes before, the driver of that vehicle tried to flee from a hit-and-run crash, and even after running over that officer, continued to try and drive away.
You see that a lot now. You're seeing that the so-called police officers, they're getting hit by cars. They are getting in car crash, brethren. This is not a joke. This is an all-time high. A month or two ago, a young lady, I was doing some podcast, and she said, F the police, and she got into a car and ran over a cop. When this video, you just saw 2 Chicago police officers getting involved in a crash. Couple months ago, but not even couple months, a month or a couple weeks ago, a police officer got drunk, get in his car, and get into an accident, and then he died. He crashed into a house. So many cops are getting into accident, and then they are dying, and people are hating them and killing them because of the ley lines. You're seeing this. It's becoming more common. It's becoming like the popcorn thing. But hey, all praises to the Most High.
That's crazy. This is my first time in Miami. I just got here last night, and I can't even.
Look at this dude name, man. Look at that guy name, beloved. This is the Most High confirming step number 10 for us, confirming those things. All praises, man.
Michael Martinez watching from a high-rise balcony near Biscayne Boulevard at Northeast 172nd Street. He started recording after hearing shots fired we later learned came from officers shooting at the suspect in an attempt to try and stop her.
I assumed that he had gotten shot. Obviously hearing the gunshots, and then the lady was, being subdued, and the dog was getting at her.
According to detectives, that officer is a 17-year veteran of the force who was trying to stop the driver of this red car after she hit 2 other vehicles, then hitting that officer in the process.
Shots were fired, K-9 was deployed, and the female was stopped.
Both the injured officer and the suspect taken to Aventura Hospital. Police sending out this tweet thanking the community for their support, adding the officer remains in the ICU but is in good spirits. As for the suspect, she remains in good condition but will now face serious charges.
I think one of them died later. Is one of them died? Let me see if I can grab that. They said later on one of them died. Let me see. The victim of fact. No. That's another one. We'll take this one. We close with Netanyahu right there.
Begin with breaking news at this hour. A fiery crash between 2 tractor-trailer trucks near Festus on Interstate 55 in Jefferson County. Bomarito Automotive Group Skyfox over the scene. You can see some of the burn marks on the highway 55 and massive damage to both trucks. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says around 2:30 this afternoon, 2 tractor trailers caught fire on 55 northbound near U.S. Highway 67 in the Festus area. Both directions of traffic on 55 shut down for almost an hour and a half. There's no word on any injuries, but the damage.
All praises, man. All praises to the Most High. Father is shaking up this world, man.
NBC 10 breaking news.
Listen to this one, brothers.
We're bringing you a live update right now from Eagleville. That is where multiple homes in Montgomery County went up in flames this afternoon. And let's listen in on the fire chief who's speaking right now and giving us an update.
Situation that we're dealing with here. So earlier this afternoon, a little bit before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a Lower Providence Township code enforcement officer responded to a residence on Carden Place for a follow-up inspection. When the code enforcement officer engaged with the homeowner, that person displayed a firearm. The code enforcement officer thankfully was able to get out of there and contact the Lower Providence Police. Our officers responded to the scene. Upon arrival, they engaged the male in front of the residence, and he retreated back inside. A very short time later, there were loud explosions, multiple loud explosions.
What happened here is just some dude. He got into an argument with a court enforcer, I believe. I'm not quite sure if this is the same story. And then the court enforcer called the police. When the police come, he shot at them. They shot at him, and then he blew up the house, and then 3 other houses burned. This is the privilege, man. They didn't shoot this guy on the spot, but you know, whatever, man. All praises to the Most High. Next video. Oh yeah, that's another fatal crash in San Jose. Lately, San Jose has been catching a lot of hell, man. Deadly crash, man. Okay, ley line, those people, you know, Cabo DL took this one, you know. When you look at things like that, like how fast you people were going, man. Like, yo, how fast, man? You know, how fast.
Is very likely preventable, and as you mentioned, it's a trend of of the drivers going too fast, not paying attention.
Okay.
Something that.
Okay, listen to this.
Utah Highway Patrol has responded to more deadly crashes so far in 2021 than they did at this same point last year.
Fox 13's Scott McCain is live with their latest investigation. Good morning, Scott.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Devastating accident yesterday, a triple fatal wreck in Heber, just very near the airport out there, near the small town of Charleston. Sad, tragic, and according to UHP troopers, very likely preventable. And as you mentioned, it's a trend of of the drivers going too fast, not paying attention, something that troopers say they are seeing way too often. Now, in this particular instance, investigators say a Jeep apparently slowed down on Highway 189. Then that Jeep rear-ended by a bigger truck, which then caused a fire. The Jeep's driver then swerved into oncoming traffic and hit an SUV. The folks in both of those vehicles died. Troopers say it is part of an alarming trend.
As of today, you know,
It's feel like I've done this before, but they are seeing this, brothers. It's an alarming trend. This thing is happening, and those people are running into each other, crashing and killing people. It's an alarming trend. They don't know what's going on. So all praises to the Most High.
Developing story in YAHAWAH, New Jersey tonight, where a 21-year-old man has died after going swimming in a lake. The lake at Darlington County Park was closed when the victim jumped in along with a 20-year-old friend, but apparently could not swim. First responders.
So we know the number 21 reverse. You know, it's 12, and the 12 reverse is curse. It's a bliss. It's 12. Reverse is 21. So you see this a lot. A lot of people are going swimming, and then they are drowning. You know, somehow, some way, they don't know how to swim. I don't know how. It has been happening for over a year now. You see this. A lot of people just jump in a place, in a river, in a lake, or in a canal. They don't know how to swim. Okay, so because of the whole thing, I don't want people to say, oh, you are promoting violence. Shocking footage of teens racially abusing Muslim families. Stay out of it. We don't care.
When I first saw the drone footage,
again, brethren, this is really important. This is really cute. What's going on with the whales, brethren? What's going on? Listen to this.
Of these whales just popping up in the same shot, I was overwhelmed. It was just unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. For the first time in Australia, a mass supergroup feeding event of humpback whales was observed last year, which has only ever been seen one other place in the Southern Hemisphere before, and that's off South Africa. Typically, we see humpback whales migrating in pods of 2 to 3 or even up to 5, but to see a group of 20 to up to 90 individuals is quite unique.
So what they are seeing here, they see a massive group amount of whales. A massive amount of whales swimming. They never seen this before. 70, 90 whale, a group of whales in the Australia coast. It never happened before. They like, what's going on, brethren? Okay. Oh, New South Wales.
The pod is like bubbling. There's whales coming up, turning on the side. They're taking breaths. It's a big mash of whales. Something else that we saw through the footage was the use of bubble net feeding behaviours. Bubble net feeding has never been seen in Australia before, and we're not 100% sure as to how this behaviour arose.
Okay, they never seen bubble net figure before, which is this thing right here. Let me see. Okay, you see that thing, the bubble thing that they did? There's something called finger point of God. The beloved brother Big Judah did a video 3 years ago on that. Let me see. Finger point of God symbol.
Check out these pictures.
Finger point of God symbol.
Check out these pictures.
Finger point, not finger point. Oh boy, let me see if I can get out. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, fingerprint, not point. I don't know why I was saying this. So, okay, God's fingerprint. Okay, let me see. Yeah, God's fingerprint. God's fingerprint. Okay, so this is the symbols. You see how the fingerprint is doing. You see this bubble, and then when you look at this, and then the world is making this bubble around, you know, saying that the Most High is doing this, you know, the one in the hurricane and all that. God, let me see. Oops. God's fingerprint and nature. There you go. The Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence.
Here's a summary from eLearning Industry. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where a number is the addition of the last two numbers. The Fibonacci sequence 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55.
Okay, so they say this thing is in all nature. Say the Fibonacci sequence is significant because of the so-called golden ratio of 1.6. I'm not too good with those numbers, so you know, it happened, and you know, it's pretty much in everything. It's in human, it's in man, it's in your fingers. Okay, you see this, and then when I look at this, and then it just remind me of the fingerprint of God. So the whales are sending messages here.
Bubble net feeding has never been seen in Australia before, and we're not 100% sure as to how this behaviour arose. There could be other whales from different whale populations in the
That's the whale giving the Most High praises and glory. That's what that is.
Southern Hemisphere, sharing knowledge of how to do this behaviour. It might just be that these whales are providing some key indications that there's really good food availability off Australia's coast. Not only does it document a first for Australia, but it is a piece of that puzzle that we are constantly learning about whale ecology. So to see this in Australian waters is just a wonderful sighting and something that's very exciting for us in the whale world.
There we go. My apology, brothers. I got sidetracked a little, but the Most High sending messages. All praises, man. All praises.
In China, in a society where you're not allowed to.
So, this dude, I used to watch that dude ages ago when I was doing research. So there's things, the same MS that's going on here, and in China, it's an MS too, but it's mass stabbing. Okay, it's going on over there in China, and those guys, they choose little kids, they choose women, and they do that stuff over there in China. So it's still going on. It's very rampant over there. They just don't talk about it. So I'm not gonna even talk about this because they will flag my video. So
Candace Crone is live in Long Beach with the very latest on the story tonight. Candace?
Yeah, Pat and Jeff, just a terrible tragedy tonight. Investigators are looking at footage from cameras that are on board of that boat you see there, which is now the focus of this investigation. There are still some family and friends of the man here on scene, but authorities are trying to figure out if he jumped or if he fell. Now, we have some video from the search from earlier. The Coast Guard, sheriff helicopter, and rescuers from surrounding agencies have been scouring the waters all evening looking for this man. Officials with Catalina Express said that the boat departed Long Beach around 5:15 with some 150 passengers. Well, they were only about 3 miles into the trip to Avalon when the man went overboard. Well, crew members saw him, threw out a life ring, and alerted the captain, who then turned the vessel around to search for the passenger. Distraught relatives of the 24-year-old man showed up here when the boat returned, hoping to get answers. The remaining passengers boarded another boat and resumed their trip. Now,
well, that's what to show you those people really don't care. Okay, you guys should have get this message as a warning and go home and pray and ask the Most High. Nope, you get on another boat and then you go ahead. Beloved, you are seeing a lot of things going on with the boats. A lot of things are going on with the so-called the sea, because the Most High is doing this. This fellow, something happened, got drunk or something, fell overboard, and they haven't seen him. And it happens so many times. You see these people are falling overboard, they are drowning, they never saw them. So that's what happened, man.
Video of a trooper tapping the back of a vehicle to make the driver pull over. But the SUV ended up crashing, and the woman behind the wheel was pregnant. She spoke exclusively with Jim Murray.
Can you get out? Come on out.
A pregnant mom is trapped upside down in a crashed car, all because of a controversial police maneuver. It should have been a routine stop for speeding. When the driver hears the sirens, she slows down and turns on her flashers. But the state trooper rams the car's rear bumper to make her stop. The car spins out of control across the highway, hits a wall, and flips over.
It rolled over. Give me EMS.
The driver is expectant mom Nicole Harper.
Describe what was going through your mind. Were you literally flipping over?
Now, brethren, this is what we always tell those people about dead cops. They always, every little thing they have, they always have to overshot it, overdoing it. They have to. It's over the top. They have to go over there and action movies like, yo, I got to do some pit maneuver because this person now probably have a gun, and they could not see who in the car. They were hoping it was a black man or black woman, and then this what happened. A pregnant woman. She's pregnant. You flip the car for no reason, brethren. You pull that person over. That person tried to look for a safe spot to stop, and then you did this to her, man. You could have killed this person. That's we told those people, your cops, they like to do over the top thing. Everything is so aggressive. He could have just slowly and then go ahead and not slowly, fast, go next to her and then look at the window, look at her face and speak to the thing, say pull over, pull over. Pit maneuver, man, whatever, dog. You know, that's what you people do.
On the waters of Tampa Bay, Brad Johnson spots a worrisome sign.
A fair number of dead fish. Mainly small fish. We've been seeing them for the last week.
Around Bishop Harbor, continuing north to Port Manatee and Piney Point, a trail of dead fish. The sail catfish gulped for air before dying.
Nobody likes to see did anything for no reason, and for no good reason.
From residents to those who make a living off these waters, there's concern excess nutrients from the 215 million gallons of Piney Point wastewater that was dumped into Tampa Bay will fuel a red tide bloom.
I don't know if it come in from the outside or if it's what's developed from the spill, but there's definitely something killing a lot of fish around the Port Manatee area.
Rod Griffin is a commercial fisherman. Each dead mullet he passes gives him a bad feeling.
Mullet is probably 35% of our annual income in our commercial fishing. So I hate to see the mullet floating this time of year because it.
So see, the Most High is taking the income away, and you know, all the. This is plague number 3, I believe. Destruction by pestilence among the cattle. Okay, this is a pestilence among the cattle. A fish, and when it comes to cattle, I mean like any animal you can use for food, or any animals, period. Any animal, because you can eat any of them. According to the law, you cannot, but those people can eat any of them. That is a pestilence that the Most High sent upon them. And then you're seeing that this thing is happening all over South Florida. Okay, this is a pestilence the Most High is sending, so it's taking the stuff away.
This morning, Brood X is breaking news. Cicadas grounding the White House press corps flight as they attempted to fly to Europe for President Biden's first foreign trip. The pesky insects apparently to blame for mechanical issues on the plane.
You heard that? We did tell those people this is going to be a plague. Now, Gretchen, you don't know what kind of stuff they were going to talk about in that meeting against our people. You don't know what day their plan could have worked, but because of that, it didn't. After that, they met, but it's not what it was. That it's not what it was supposed to be originally. The Most High foil their plans. You saw the video where Kamala Harris came back. You saw the video of Joe Biden. These things was on him. He slapped himself because it's a plague.
The bugs break out from underground every 17 years by the billions. A minor inconvenience for some, a major headache for others. This car accident in Cincinnati caused by a cicada that flew straight through an open window and into the driver's face. The cicada's so bad in some places, the National Weather Service's radar is actually spotting giant swarms.
I've never seen a map in all your years like this.
Well, we've been talking about the cicadas coming out, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, the Washington, D.C. radar, there were so many cicadas in the air that the cicadas were picked up on radar.
Whoa.
I mean, that's crazy stuff.
Their sounds inescapable.
That's crazy stuff.
To them, this is fun. To them, this is like, oh, this is cool and stuff. Somebody got into an accident. The airplane could not take off. A lot of things happened. And those things are sending sound, brothers. You got billions of those things making sounds. That sounds loud enough to wake up what? What is the most I have that is somewhere that he need a whistle, that a whistle that is powerful enough to call a pet? What is this? You know those things emitting sounds, right? What kind of pet the Most High is whistling and calling? All praises to the Most High, man.
Arrest for a hit-and-run crash when you consider that the crash happened at 5:30 a.m. on Wednesday. By late that night, this man was already arrested.
19-year-old Marcus Pradier is accused of leaving the scene of a crash involving death and tampering with physical evidence. The charges stem from a hit-and-run crash that claimed the life of a 38-year-old homeless man. That victim now identified as Rolando Rodriguez.
It's unfortunate that, people drive the way that they drive.
The crash happened around 5:30 a.m. Wednesday morning on Old Dixie Highway at Southwest 296th Street. Police say Rodriguez was riding a standing electric scooter.
Witnesses say the fists were flying about 7:30 this morning in the parking lot of this convenience store off busy Route 31.
They were fighting for a few minutes and then it stopped. And then one guy just fell to the ground. He was kind of bending over sore like he was hurting, and then he went down.
The brawlers fleeing the scene, according to witnesses, as West Dundee police arrived within minutes, performing CPR on the unconscious victim who appeared to stop breathing. The unidentified individual rushed to Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin.
It appears that there's no danger to the public and that this is isolated between these motorists.
They are seeing an increase, Brethren. How long we are into this thing, an increase of, road rage and stuff like that, man. That guy with the face of flying and stuff, man. Brothers, let's just talk a little. What could possibly happen that provoked this? Is it somebody getting to cut you off and get into the number you try to get, or was it somebody say something slick? I could not imagine what would cause me to get into a road rage argument with somebody at a gas station or fuel station, whatever you want to call it. Or what is this? Most likely something microscopic, something small, something petty. You know, something petty. It's just, I don't know. The guy, they were they were fighting so much that they punched this guy in his face, and he lost consciousness, and they have to perform CPR, man. All praises to the Most High, man.
It's now official. Benjamin Netanyahu is out as Israeli prime minister.
Now, this is crazy. Thank you for the beloved brother Abdullah Seal sent me this email, and I got the video. It's, brothers, when you look at this and people are not seeing what we are seeing, because we're going to close with this. This is what we are seeing. This fellow, his name is Benjamin. And we know Benjamin was the last son of the 12 tribe of Jacob. His name was Benjamin. He was the smallest one. Yeah, he had 11 years old. He had like 10 kids. Benjamin was he had like 8 kids when he was like 13. I don't know. I don't remember the book of Joshua. But anyway, this dude, Benjamin, after 12 years, beloved, he took power in 2009, 2018, 2009. After 12 years, the Most High put him down. There goes the number 12. His name is Benjamin, one of the sons of the 12 tribe. The guy that defeated him in the race, his name is Naphtali, the stag, the fastest man in the whole 12 tribe. You can't make this up, Bridget. And guess what? Yesterday was, today's Sunday for us. Yesterday was Sunday for them. Yesterday was June the 12th. It happened over there in Hishland. On the 12th of June, after 12 years, Benjamin, the 12th kid of the 12th tribe, put down by the fastest guy. Now, who is Benjamin of the brothers? Look at this. They cannot see this. Don't know why, because maybe somebody prayed against them. But anyway, Benjamin of the tribe of Israel.
According to Britannica, Benjamin, according to biblical tradition, one of the 12 tribes that constituted the people of Israel, and one of the 2 tribes that later became the Jewish people. The tribe was named after the younger of 2 children born to Jacob and his second wife, Rachel.
Okay, so he's like the youngest, right? And then they put that Jamaican flag here. This is good. This is good when this thing pop up here. This is good. All praises. I believe Benjamin was... let me do a little research. If it was the last kid, I believe, Benjamin. He was the last of the 12, if I am not mistaken. Okay, numbers. Why come his number? Where's Genesis? Yeah, Genesis. He fell upon his mother Benjamin's neck and he wept. Okay. What Genesis it is? Genesis 42. I believe it's Genesis. Okay, there are so many. Let me see. It really better if we ask it like this. Who was the last sons of Jacob?
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Jacob had 12 biological sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin, and at least one daughter, Dinah.
So out of the 12 tribes, Benjamin was the 12th one, the last man. And this dude, Benjamin, he is the last 12 after 12 years to yesterday, and June the 12th lost to Naphtali, aka the stag. Show me a picture of a stag.
Check out these pictures.
A super fast stag, he lost the race. That's the most sense of humor, right? Beloved, that's the most sense of humor. Okay, let's do this. How fast is a stag?
Typical speed of deer is 50 kilometers per hour.
Okay, like that's a male deer can reach more than that. That's how fast Naphtali was. So and when you look at this, Benjamin lost, and he says some stuff, brothers. Listen to listen to what this guy's saying. Listen, brothers, if you listen to what this guy is saying, tell me who does it. Is that thing even when we're recording? Okay, yes it is. Tell me, listen to what this guy is saying and tell me who does that remind you of.
This was the moment a short time ago when 12 consecutive years as Prime Minister for Benjamin Netanyahu ended. A coalition of smaller parties joined forces against Netanyahu and, as expected, voted him out by a razor-thin margin on the streets of Jerusalem. There were late-night celebrations after the vote, ushering in the post-Netanyahu era. Supporters of the new incoming government have rallied in recent days with signs reading "Bye Bye Bibi," using the long-time, now former Prime Minister's nickname. And let's go straight to Jerusalem right now and CNN's Oren Lieberman. Oren, we couldn't keep you out of Jerusalem very long. This is definitely the end of an era, isn't it, with Netanyahu being out, but he's not going out quietly at this point.
Not at all. In Benjamin Netanyahu's last speech as prime minister just a few hours ago, he spoke obviously mostly in Hebrew, but he had one phrase in English. He said, "We'll be back soon," referring to his government.
Who does this, brothers? Who was the scumbag who lost? Who was the sore loser who lost, and then they tell people, "I will be back"? This is the same pattern behavior. That's like the Mosai trolling those people and making those things upon them. That's the Mosai doing this, brethren. Look at this. This praises to the Mosai. I'm sorry, man. I'm just sorry. It's just like when you sit there, you watch the way those guys are doing stuff, man. Just how you guys are a bunch of losers. You lost, man. That's because the Gentiles, they never lost. They always win. All I do is win, win, win. Matey Pen roast wherever he's at right now. DJ Khaled coming into our culture, swagger jacked us. Take all cultures and then take all the meat and take all the, because our people allow things like that to happen. Not anymore. You're a loser. You lost. Get on with it. Move on.
He lashed out at his rivals after listing his accomplishments. After more than 12 years in office and 3 years before that, he called the government that's replacing him a weak government, a dangerous government for Israel, and then said only he could stand up to the Biden administration when it comes to building in the settlements, when it comes to pushing back against a nuclear agreement with Iran.
It's garbage. They just say one truth and then they fill it with garbage, as if those guys will bite their hand that feed them. As if those guys, it's really, they make it look like there's a real conflict going on between the U.S. and Israel and stuff like that and stuff. This guy lash out at his people, man. He doesn't want to leave office. That guy, now you understand, man, it's just the Mosai is amazing, brethren. It's now you just start to understand why the Mosai cut the conflict after 11 days or 12 days, 10 days. I'm not quite sure after whatever days. Because if this conflict was still going on, this guy would have re-elect president again because he would have used that. But the Most High cut it off and then bring the other guy. Remember, we told you, wars always happen when you have a pacifist on power. Okay, this guy lashes out, man. Like, yo, I did more than you. Your government is weak. I'm strong. We're strong. We're strong. All this garbage.
Then it was Naftali Bennett sworn in as Israel's new prime minister. He once worked for Netanyahu. He has now replaced him, promising a very different kind of politics, one of unity, one of agreement.
Somebody that used to work for you replaced you. That person got your job. That person got your blessing. Give me a second. All right. Let me see. Yeah, this guy, he lost against Naphtali or Naphtali, okay, because he wasn't fast enough to... All praises, man. The Most High is great. He lashed out of them, you know, and stuff like that. The rest is just garbage, and we really don't want to go into this. Brethren, listen, let me show you. There are so many stuff going on. I can't even get to them. There are way too many things and way too much stuff going on. We can't even get to all of them. You know, every time you go to your, man, there you go. Man shot in Old Northwood Park, crashes into hospital. Another guy crashed and get shot and crash into another hospital, you know, and yeah.
On the far northwest side, things went from bad to worse for the man who crashed into Resurrection Hospital this morning. Police department tells us he was shot when he was standing on a sidewalk in the Old Norwood Park community around 10 this morning. He drove himself to the hospital and ran his car right into the building. The man, who is 40 years old, was shot in the torso. He is in critical condition.
You heard that, brothers? You can't make that up. This man is 40 years old. The number 40. He crashed into a hospital called Resurrection. Let's listen to this again.
On the far northwest side, things went from bad to worse for the man who crashed into Resurrection Hospital this morning. Police department tells us he was...
Resurrection. That means like your kingdom is not coming back, okay? It will not be resurrect, okay? Define resurrection.
Here's the definition of resurrection: the action or fact of resurrecting or being resurrected.
And Christian believe Christ rising from the dead. That's like the Most High telling you, he crashed the car in the hospital, say, you are, well, I should have defined resurrecting. Define resurrecting.
Here's the definition of resurrect: restore a dead person to life.
That means you're dead. The Most High will not revive your economy. You were at the hospital called Resurrection. The Most because the Most High say, listen, this is what the Most High say, brethren, with this message that he sent us.
On the far...
He said, the name of this place is Old Norwood. He said, this hospital where your economy, your blessing is at, trying to get back to life. My children said the 40 days fast and put the nail in the coffin, and then you will not get back. You will not get back from this hospital. You dead. That's the message the Most High said. You cannot make those things up, brothers. Okay, there are so many things going on. You know, let me see. Little League umpire arrest at Sport Complex. Some stuff happened here. You know, Netanyahu say his president in the House state of power. You know, after 12 years, you know, it's all the Most High, okay? After 12 years, they put you down. You be put down, man. Benjamin, 12 of the 12th tribe, after 12 years on the 12th days of June, be put down. All praises, man. All praises, brothers. By the power of the Most High vested in me, I'm leaving all of you in peace. You can take it anytime you feel like. Be at peace, brothers and sisters. Be at peace. Shalom. So be it. May the King reign forever.